Welcome, everybody. This is the Glacier Gamble podcast, and today we have some pretty exciting news because some announcement for DC, which we always want to include DC. We don't want to only go Marvel. Got an announcement for DC, which is pretty exciting, and then we want to talk about Secret Invasion episode 2.
Yeah, David Corn Sweat. If
Yes,
I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And Rachel Brosnahan. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Sorry, what? Lucy's distracting. No, I'm excited for them. They're the first kind of casting of the DCU, and yeah, first casting of the DCU outside of Blue Beetle. Okay, hold on.
Why? I thought it was good. Hi, Hambone. Yeah, we have our new Superman
and our new Lois
Lane.
Yeah, yes. Here's pictures of them. They both good looking.
Well, it's Hollywood; they all are.
David Corn Sweat looks very similar to kind of Henry Cavill, I think.
A little bit.
Yeah.
He just has a very almost all the Supermen have looked the same,
similar, right? Right.
They've all had super similar, and they've all done really well. I think there's one that most people don't like, but otherwise the rest are generally have been all hits. And he's even said in the past that he liked Henry Cavill's display, and he's like, it would be a dream to be able to put on the cape one day.
Sure.
I like Henry's dark, ominous take to it and troubled take to Superman, but I'd like to see the upbeat Superman, and that's exactly what James Gunn said he wanted. Right. So it's the exact fit.
He's a symbol of hope, and he should be that. He should be that. So
he should be completely OP.
Yeah.
Where where nothing can beat him, and you're never worried,
except the name Martha. That'll beat him.
And if he forgot his glasses.
Right. Yeah, I don't know who he is. No, I'm excited. It's I know that Blue Beetle is technically the first DCU project, but it's not necessarily the first DCU movie. I don't know how to explain that. That's like Blue Beetle's a part of the DCU, but not like James Gunn's DC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm excited for Blue Beetle and Superman Legacy or something like that.
Superman. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, all good things.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it'll be good. Obviously, you don't know, but it's gonna be good.
It can't be worse than DCEU.
Exactly, it's gonna be good. Yes, the Flash has bombed, but everything from here on out, it's gonna be good.
Right, it's gonna be great.
Now let's get into the main topic. Secret Invasion episode 2 came out, and still you kept the same intro, so same AI intro, controversial, whatever. We talked about it last week. Go ahead and check those out. But some new stuff happened in this one, and I think Marvel has gotten kind of blatant in everything that they're doing, including tossing Easter eggs just on the screen for 4 minutes.
Sure. What did you see?
So, it was the Groot, the Frost Beast, Obsidian, and
then Extremis.
Yeah. But one major takeaway I took from this episode was we get to see a lot of Emilia Clarke's face, but just that's all the scene. That's all it is.
Not a lot. There wasn't not a lot of her. It was her just doing a lot of facial dialogue. Right. I enjoyed this episode more than the last episode. I thought there was a lot of more impactful conversations just throughout the entire thing, and you got to see more of the acting chops of a lot of the people. I liked this episode a lot, even in regards to just Fury talking with Maria Hill's mother, talking with Talos, talking with Rhodey, all those things were I enjoyed.
What was weird to me with Rhodey felt that he was way more aggressive than he's ever been. I know what Nick Fury did was catastrophic. It still didn't feel
what he's getting framed for. You mean what? Right. The
And it didn't seem like it didn't seem like a Rhodey reaction to sit there cocky, drinking the alcohol and saying like, you wonder why you're out. That
Right.
just does not feel like a Rhodey line. It felt really out of character. So either it wasn't Rhodey or I did not really get that
Yeah, I
interaction. It seemed out of
expected
character.
kind of like a show from Rhodey in regards to like he's talking that talk and he's being different and aggressive. But in return, it was like to get Fury out of there, to like let Fury figure out what's going on.
Right.
Not necessarily like you're done, like kind of thing. That's
And
what
they
I
might have
figured.
known, or so that could have been a show for the bodyguard.
Sure. Yeah.
Because they both make eyes at the bodyguard as if they don't trust
Because
him.
when Fury mentions the scroll, Rhodey's like he knew about it, and then even Fury was like, "You, how long have you known?"
I
Like,
guess that's probably more likely that they were
yeah,
that's probably a show put on for the Skrull bodyguard that's reporting back to whoever.
yeah, yeah. So I think I'm hoping that's the case because I would like to believe that Rhodey would trust Fury, just over
Yeah.
anything. Skrull or not, if Rhodey's a Skrull or not, like, yeah,
I do have one question here. Um, so I will admit I was quite tired, so I felt like I missed like a minute in the middle that might have been important.
sure.
Or sorry, at the end that might have been important. Does he know his wife is a Skrull?
I don't know. I saw a lot of that talk on Twitter. Like, does he know? Because everyone thought it was that same Skrull woman from earlier. Um, Regardless on if she is I feel like he would know. I feel like Fury knows. You know what I mean? And I feel like at that point he would know.
Because the music made it feel like like they were kissing passionately
Right.
and it was somber music.
Sure.
That tells me that you're supposed to think he doesn't know.
Okay.
Just the art of cinematography,
Sure.
whatever. Like to me, you're telling the audience bad. Like you don't
Right.
want him to be in love with this woman.
Sure.
So maybe she is a
Yeah,
spy.
I think they haven't hit yet. I have another. I'll hit you with a question after this. I think they
Don't.
haven't quite hit the point of like you don't know who to trust yet. Like eventually it's just people are gonna pop up and we're gonna be like, oh no way, no way, no way, no way, no
A
way. I didn't see
million.
that.
There's a million.
Yeah, there's at least a million scrolls
At least a million.
on in the world.
When they said that in this episode, did you go, what? Like, did
I
you?
mean,
Because I was like,
so
Jesus,
that's a lot. That's a
That's
lot. And some of them
lot.
are even like the leader of NATO, like the head dude of NATO.
Yeah, that's that's an
Prime
entire
ministers.
state of
Yeah,
some states in the U.S. That's
yeah,
more than some states.
yeah. The prime minister of Russia, like they're all around, and they've been infiltrating and working their way up. When Rhodey and Fury were talking, um, Rhodey was like, "Should we call our friends or something like that?" And everyone wants everyone wants to think that that's like the Agents of Shield or Daisy Johnson or whatever. But Fury was like, no, we don't want the Avengers. I forgot how he worded it. We don't want them to show up because then all of a sudden you're gonna have Skrulls impersonating, shit, who's left? Thor or you know what I
Hawkeye.
mean, Hawkeye, stuff like
Yeah,
that. Do you think it was in regards to like we don't want the Avengers to help with this threat because then we're going to have like what they said terrorist Avengers? Or do you think Rhodey meant like we should call our friends as in like this cameo coming up or presumable cameo coming up,
I
like
took it as
friends in
presumable
hiding,
cameo coming up.
right? Our friends that we haven't established yet. There you go. Look at the cats.
All right, I'll let her sit like this. There we go. Yeah, it just hit my screen. That's fine. So yeah, anyway, yeah, I think it's the upcoming cameo. I think they're
Okay.
hinting at some sort of person that we maybe know of or not already.
There's
Maybe it's
if Daisy
Captain
Johnson does
Falcon.
appear, if Daisy Johnson does appear, um, I guarantee I just saw a comic panel that was very like similar. It was like it was a hallway. It was a hallway, and Nick Fury's in the hallway, and there's these double doors at the end. And in the comic panel, Daisy Johnson comes flying through, and they're like, "Put your hands up," and she just goes, and then just tremors like.
Sure.
And so I'm hoping that happens. Like she comes
Yeah.
in and they're like, "Put your hands up." You maybe not see her, and then it'll do like the pan over, and she'll be like, "Okay," and then just
I
could be.
think that level of fan service I wouldn't expect. It would be cool, but I
I
just
don't know
don't.
if they want to reveal it right away. Like, do you want to? Do you want Daisy Johnson to be like, I don't know, like the plot mover? You know what I mean? Or do you want her to have like the surprise, like at the end, like there's no hope left. Fury's trapped. Gaia is trapped or captured or something because they realize that she's debating being good or evil.
Yeah.
And then like
Yeah,
Agents of
she's
Shield
like,
come in.
it feels like she's on Talos' side, but it's still
Yeah,
kind of
she's
she's it's like she's still questioning it, but because she has that, we found out she has that long connection with Gravik, like,
right. Yeah.
but it still seems, I don't know. It
So you
seems
know
like that
the
she's leaning
Super
hard into
Scroll,
the good guys.
the Super Scroll powers are technically supposed to be the Fantastic Four powers.
Correct. Yep.
And so it's really cool how they like got the similar abilities but with different
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool how
Because
they kind of
the couple, the Dr. Daltons,
right
are helping them create super scrolls with,
Super
seems like
Scrolls.
with like some sort of gene splicing, whatever,
Right.
using genetics to upgrade scrolls.
Right.
Um, we saw in the trailer, we talked about this in like the trailer reaction video we had, talked about it looked like he had Groot arms.
Right.
And what did we see? We saw Gaia looking at a computer screen, looking at a database, and they showed multiple different powers, abilities, and people with those abilities. Groot was on there. Frost Beast
The
was on
Frost
there.
Beast, yeah, when they were in
Extremis,
like New York and the giant Frost Beast they killed in New York, they got that DNA. Cull
right? Cull
Obsidian's hand.
Obsidian. So Cull Obsidian is the thing, super strength.
Right.
Groot is Mr. Fantastic, stretchiness or ability to conform their limbs.
Sure.
Like they, and then Extremis is the ability to have like Johnny Storm.
Right.
So they're trying to make it so the powers are similar. Oops, sorry, Phoebe. They're trying to make it so the powers are similar to the comics, but making sense in the MCU, because Dr. Dalton, there is no Dr. Daltons in the
Sure.
comics.
Sure.
Not
Yeah,
from the comics. They're complete
no, they've
MCU.
done a good job of kind of explaining making MCU like origins different. Like even Kamala Khan is different. She's not inhuman. She's a she's a mutant in this
Yeah.
world, or at least that's how she thinks she is. But if they introduce Daisy Johnson, that means Inhumans are somehow like in the mix. So like if Kamala Khan needs the Bengals to activate her powers, if she's exposed to Terrigen or a Terrigen crystal, would those powers come naturally? I don't know. So we'll see. I'm hoping.
Well, if she needs the
Hoping.
Bengals, Joe Burrow needs to show up sometime.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, Jamar Chase can, since he's a top 5 wide receiver and Justin Jefferson isn't, but
What?
no, we're getting sidetracked.
So yeah. So that's where the powers come from. I wanted to talk to you about Dr. Not Dr. Falsworth, the Fallsworth, Agent Fallsworth. What is her title? The lady who cut off
Olivia
his
Colman.
finger, or Brogan's finger.
Olivia Colman's character.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fallsworth is her last name. Is the
Sure.
character's
Sonia
name?
Fallsworth.
Sonia Fallsworth.
That sounds right.
Yeah. That side, so she seemed off. We talked about how she seemed off, like where is she leaning? It's
Right.
because she's a good person, but with really, she's like willing to go the extra mile.
Right.
Where if you were like, how do you feel about capital punishment? And you're like, oh, I always capitalize.
Right.
She just seems like one of those people.
She's willing to do the dirty work too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, not everyone can be bad, right? And like with her demeanor from the beginning, it seemed like she was bad.
Yeah,
And especially because Fury like activated the camcorder, like he didn't necessarily trust her, even though he's worked with her in the past.
yeah,
So I'd like to believe that she is, but this whole thing is like you don't know who to trust. So like we may kind of trust her now, but then like next episode she may do something that like crosses Fury, but it's for her agenda, but it's like still good, but she's crossing the main character. So like it's just a bunch of weaves.
she has very strong Dolores Umbridge energy from Harry
Right.
Potter,
I've
like,
seen that. Yeah.
except not pure evil, but kind of, same energy. They're putting out the
Right.
same energy. When that scene was super intense.
Yeah. It's interesting to see how Extremis worked with a scroll compared to like working with a human, because like Aldrich Killian was like on fire and heated like the entire time, and his like skin's all morphing, and it's like
Yeah.
the scroll can kind of hold it in. It's just very, very painful. So yeah, it's weird to see different reactions with different races too.
Right. Well, I mean, it's in their ability to be able to morph their skin, so
Right.
they're probably able to hold it in place. But
Right.
God, like the because everybody everybody craps on Marvel for their CGI,
Sure.
especially as of late. She-Hulk, a lot of the recent shows and movies get crapped on for their CGI. Ant-Man,
Flash.
Flash, just
Yeah.
everything, and
Right.
that is CGI during that scene with his veins
Right.
and all that. I thought it was extremely, like, as I was watching, I felt uncomfortable. I wanted to
Yeah.
be like, oh God, like make it
Yeah.
stop, like give him the antidote because I'm uncomfortable, please. Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was really well done because I felt uncomfortable for it. So as of
Right.
right now, they're doing some really things
No,
right. As you said, you
this has been
enjoyed this episode.
super. Yeah, it's very entertaining so far. It's like
Yeah,
it's
it
very
feels
different than
thriller.
what it. Yeah, it's very different than what they've done before. So
Oh,
I'm
so I
all for
saw
that.
I saw some people talking because of this show. People have been talking about it as a thriller. We called it a thriller, but people are like, "How is it a thriller? There's nothing scary about it." But when we were talking like thriller, it's not doesn't have to be scary or horror. Because I was The Fugitive, really big movie with Harrison Ford
Sure.
back in,
Right.
I think it was late '80s, early
Right.
'90s. Um, that movie is categorized as a thriller. I feel like it's along those lines, like action thriller, not horror thriller.
Right.
And so far, like, second episode felt leaned hard into the thriller.
Right.
Um, I've been really enjoying it. My favorite part so far is definitely that they're keeping you on your toes and interested. My least favorite part is the fact that Amelia Clark is just sitting there with no lines, looking at her face, staring at a computer screen, looking at her face while standing outside of
Yeah.
a car, looking at her face while looking at Gravik, looking at her face in the hall. There are so many scenes where it's her face and there's no talking. And
Yeah.
it's
I think it's
what
definitely,
is
yeah,
happening?
it's really weird for them to, and she'll have her moments coming up for sure, but like yeah, that it was definitely, that episode was just like, oh yeah, she's just here that episode. Like she's still
Her contract
contemplating
says she
whether,
has to be here in certain amount of
right,
scenes.
yeah, it's she's definitely still contemplating that she's on the bad side, but oh
It's just
yeah.
that's
Yeah, I don't
outside of
know.
that. Like, that is not enough for me to say I don't like it, but when it's enough where as I'm watching it, I'm like, I write down in my notes how many times are we pausing on Amelia Clark's face. Like,
Right.
when it's that many times, I feel like it is enough to take away from the show a little bit.
Sure.
So if they could let her start talking her lines out and
Yeah.
maybe add to her story as opposed to
Yeah, I mean, they brought her in, and it's like, oh my god, like the Marvel got Amelia Clark, like let's go. But yeah, we're still waiting for her moment. I don't know where she like fits in the story and like in the future and stuff like that. So,
do
um,
you like Gravik?
what do you mean?
Do you like him as a character? When you're watching, do you enjoy his character?
I wish he was more. So like he's very confident. I
Okay,
wish
yeah.
he was to the point of like I wish he was to the point where like he considers himself so strong that he dares someone to challenge him, I guess. And I know
Kind
he
of like he
did
did in the meeting.
kind of like he did in the meeting, but like
He even went behind their back and had that lady
right,
initiated as opposed to himself.
right. But like he's still not like he is definitely threatening, but like not like I don't feel like hopeless for Fury kind of
Sure.
thing. Because like if like hypothetically Daisy Johnson shows up, I mean Daisy Johnson clears him. Like it doesn't matter. Like it,
With her
I don't know.
powers.
Yeah, like she's in Agents of Shield. They did a line where they went into or they did a series where they went into the future, and Quake had like a meltdown in the past and split the world in half. And so they're all like in space, and they're like, what happened? And they're like, you're the destroyer of worlds, like you did that.
Well,
So
that's
like,
fine. That's nothing.
so I mean, she's like, I don't know. I feel like if Johnson shows up, it would take away from like how threatening Gravik can be, but at the same time, like I want Gravik to be more threatening. So
It's so hard when to hear "Take Me Away." Like, take me away. Yeah, I would agree. I the reason I ask if you like Gravik is because normally you really like the really confident, like over the Negans,
right,
those types of, and so like right there,
sure.
I thought you were gonna say I wish he was more like like Negan level, or
No,
but because there was a couple points
He's not charming.
because he like
That's the
he
thing.
it's like a super cocky, like
Right,
he's almost like a UFC fighter.
right,
He's like when he was walking, there's a couple times where he's like walking and he's got like swinging in his shoulder. He's got a swing in his shoulders while he's walking. Like tightens up as people go. Like does the like kind of like the
right.
grimace look. Oh god, you're not supposed to say grimace right now. uh,
Yeah, seen all those things. It's pretty crazy.
um, but yeah, he
He's not
makes
charming. That's the thing. He's
right, and
not
so I wasn't sure if you would enjoy because I thought about it a couple times. I was like, God, he's cocky, like just
yeah,
walking so confident,
right.
as if
Uh
he wants somebody to try to hurt him so he can react.
yeah, I get that too. But like, yeah, he's not the charming of Negan. Like, have you seen Gravik smile yet? No.
No,
Like, not even when he was a kid. He's just like, he's
don't
like,
fucking touch me.
right, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I want to see where his character goes. And like
Yeah,
Fury knew of him in the past, but now
yeah.
Fury's acting like he has no idea who he is. Or he has no idea who he is. But then it's like Gravik, it's like, do you knew him back in the day? You knew him shortly after you and Carol Danvers saved the Skrulls. Like,
So we need to find out if he knows his wife's a Skrull. We need to find out more
if Emilia Clarke will
flashbacks.
talk at all.
Amelia Clark, if she has lines. Uh, if there's more flashbacks to find out if Nick Fury actually knows Gravik. Maybe he got like Will Smith came in and just like flashed him quick.
Right.
Just completely lost it. Neuralized him.
Yeah.
We need to find out. Yeah, so those are basically, and then Talos kicked off in the middle of a train ride. Where is
Right.
he now?
Yeah. Where is he now? Because he wants to meet up with Gravik. So I don't know. I don't know if Gravik's gonna hurt him and
That's
like
his next way of hurting Fury.
Talos because Fury's like alone now.
But then
So
he's
like
gonna hurt Gaia because he hurts Talos.
yeah, and then the guy is gonna join Fury, and then it's gonna be like it's just us. Like where do we go? And he's like, I've got friends, and then Agents of Shield theme plays, and
And then Quake just comes flying in.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like Banshee.
yeah. But she can with her power. She can like she's insane.
She is
She's
insane.
insane.
And
So
Mike would be
yeah,
very happy.
yeah. Yeah, I'll be like Mike. You have to watch it, or you have to watch Secret Invasion. He's like, why? I was like, trust,
Trust.
just
Skip
trust.
episodes 1 and 2. Just go to 3. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh.
Otherwise, that's my big takeaways were a million or more Skrulls.
Yeah.
It really feels like good action thriller. I'm liking Gravik's development. I like Nick Fury better in episode 2 than I liked him in episode 1. There's
Right.
still mystery that I want to feel confused at some point in every episode. That's like my goal while watching
I
them.
think Fury's gonna get to the point where it's like shit, he does have nobody left. And and then I think it's just gonna hopefully he'll figure it out. But
all right, nice. So I do have, so thank you if you've gotten to this point in the video. First of all, thank you.
you're welcome.
Subscribe, like, please, and also have a question for those that do get this far. We changed our shorts format, so now instead of like a black bar and it's like us split, it's like a bigger version of us, like who's ever talking is the one who's being
Sure.
seen. Do you like that format better, or do you like it better when we're side by side? Please let us know, because that's something I generally want to know. Which do you prefer? Yeah, just a question for those that got this far, because usually those are the people willing to answer. I do want to let all of you know you look great today. You do. Joe's shirt, like, you look as good as Joe today. G.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. Have no regrets, yeah, I'm tired of my chest.